Hello and welcome to Modern Skills in English. Today, we're talking about something many students are feeling anxious about, the first job. Not just finding it, but the very idea of what a first job is supposed to be. It seems to be changing fast.
It feels like it's disappearing. I keep reading these articles about AI replacing entry-level work, the simple tasks, the ones you're supposed to learn on. It feels like the first step of the ladder is just gone. How are we supposed to start a career if there's no place to start?
That's the perfect question. It assumes there's a ladder waiting for you. What if that's the part we've all gotten wrong? What if the real challenge isn't finding the first step, but building it yourself?
Building it? What does that even mean? A job is something a company gives you. You can't just build one.
Let's reframe that. For generations, a first job wasn't just a job, it was a training program in disguise. A company paid you to learn how to work, how to be on a team, how to manage deadlines, how to use professional tools.
Exactly. And now AI can do those basic training tasks, so companies don't need us to do them. It feels unfair.
It's not about fairness, it's about a shift in responsibility. The world has changed. The old training ground has been replaced by technology. The new training ground is you. The expectation is no longer, we will teach you. The expectation is, show us what you've already taught yourself.
But that feels like a paradox. I need experience to get a job, but I need a job to get experience. That's the classic problem, but now it feels 10 times worse.
I understand why it feels that way. Most students believe their first job will teach them how to be a professional. Our parents and older friends tell us stories about their first jobs, making copies, organizing files, learning from the ground up.
Right. That's what I was expecting. A chance to learn and grow inside a company.
And that system worked for a long time because those simple tasks were valuable to the company. But now, software can organize 1,000 files in a second. AI can write a basic report from a spreadsheet. The economic value of a human doing that learning on the job has dropped to zero. Companies can't afford to pay someone to learn what a machine does for free.
So they just expect us to show up as experts on day one?
Not experts, but prepared. The new way to think about it is this: your real training must happen before your first paid role. Companies aren't looking for a student they can train from zero. They are looking for someone who already shows the ability to take initiative.
Take initiative. So I have to do things on my own before anyone asks me to.
Precisely. Think about a junior marketing role. 10 years ago, your first 6 months might have been scheduling social media posts or updating a contact list. It was slow, manual work. You learned the rhythm of the business.
Okay, I can picture that.
Today, software automates all of that. The new entry-level person is expected to look at the data from those automated posts and ask, what is this telling us? What should we try next week? They are hired for their judgment, not for their ability to perform a routine task. The training ground for routine tasks is gone.
That makes sense, but it's scary. My grades are good. I study hard. I thought that was the proof that I was ready.
That leads us to the second core belief that needs to change, the belief that good grades prove you are ready for a job.
But why wouldn't they? It shows I can learn things. It shows I'm smart.
It shows you are excellent at operating within the school system. School is a world of clear questions and right answers. You study the material, you take the test, you get a grade. It's predictable. It rewards knowledge.
And that's a bad thing?
It's not bad, but it's incomplete. The professional world is the opposite. It is a world of messy problems, unclear questions, and unknown answers. A manager doesn't say, here is the textbook, the exam is on Friday. A manager says, our customer engagement is down. Figure out why and suggest a solution.
And there's no right answer in the back of the book for that.
Exactly. Your grades prove you know the theory, but a company needs to see proof of your process. Can you handle a problem that doesn't have instructions? That's why employers are looking for something tangible.
Tangible. Something real, not just a grade on a piece of paper.
Yes. Imagine two students applying for a job as a writer. Student A says, I got the highest grade in my advanced writing class. Student B says, here is a link to a blog I started. I've written an article every week for 6 months about a topic I care about. Who do you think gets the interview?
Student B, obviously. But starting a blog is a lot of work.
Let's use another example. A business student. Student A has a perfect grade in finance. Student B says, I used a free tool online to create a portfolio of 5 imaginary stocks. I tracked their performance for a year and wrote a short report on why I think they succeeded or failed. The report might be simple, even a little wrong, but it's tangible proof they can apply knowledge to an unclear situation. It's a real project, not just a grade.
Okay, I see the pattern. It's about showing, not telling. But this is where I get stuck. I hear do a project and my mind goes blank. I'm not an expert. I don't have a world-changing idea for an app or a business. What am I even supposed to build?
And that is the third and most common trap, the belief that you need a brilliant, original idea to start.
It feels that way. If I'm going to do all this extra work, it should be for something amazing, right? Otherwise, what's the point?
This belief comes from our experience as consumers. We see the final, polished product, the amazing app, the successful company, but we are not trying to be a successful company. We're trying to create a learning experience for ourselves. The goal isn't a perfect outcome. The goal is a valuable process.
So the project itself doesn't have to be successful?
Not at all. The pressure for originality is what paralyzes most people. So here's the new way to think. Don't invent. Instead, replicate.
Replicate? Like copy something? Isn't that cheating?
It's not cheating, it's learning. You're not stealing someone's work and calling it your own. You are choosing a small, professional task that already exists in the world and trying to do it yourself to understand the process.
Can you give me an example?
Of course. Let's say you want to work in data analytics. Don't try to solve world hunger with data. That's too big. Instead, find a report that a professional company has already published. Maybe it's about city traffic patterns or online shopping trends. They've already done the hard work. Your job is to find the public data and try to replicate just one chart from their report.
Just one chart? That sounds much easier.
The goal isn't the chart. The goal is the struggle. You will have to find the data, clean it, figure out how to use the software, and understand why your chart looks different from theirs. In that process, you will learn more than you would in 5 classes. You've created a tangible story of your learning.
Okay, so for a graphic designer, instead of waiting for a great idea, they could find a brand they admire and try to design one new social media post in that brand's style.
An excellent example. They don't need permission. They just replicate the process. It proves they understand brand guidelines, layout, and tools. They are building their own training program.
This all makes sense, but Sarah, it also sounds completely exhausting. I'm already trying to keep up with my classes and maybe a part-time job. Now you're saying I have to build this entire portfolio of projects on my own time for free? If this is the new reality, why do even good students who do all this still struggle to feel confident? It feels like we're being asked to run a marathon before we're even allowed to walk to the starting line.
That is a very real and honest feeling, Mark. And you're right, it can feel that way if you see it as one giant extra task called build my career. But we're not adding a new mountain to climb. We are just changing the way we walk through the landscape that's already in front of us.
What do you mean?
It's not about finding 10 extra hours a week. It's about seeing that everything you do, a class assignment, a club activity, a personal curiosity, can be a piece of the puzzle. Think of it this way. Your first job experience is not a single project. It's a system you build for yourself. Every small project, every skill you learn, is a component.
A component? Like a piece of a machine?
Exactly. That chart you tried to replicate, that's one component. The blog post you wrote about a class topic, that's another component. The budget you managed for your student club, that's a very valuable component. They are small, separate pieces. By themselves, they don't look like a job.
So I have all these little pieces. What do I do with them?
Your final task, the one that replaces the old idea of job hunting, is to assemble them. You learn to tell the story of how those components connect. You don't say, I don't have any experience. You say, I took the initiative to build my own experience. For example, I wanted to understand data, so I found a way to replicate a professional report. It was challenging, but it produced this tangible result. I also learned teamwork when I organized a small event for my club. I can assemble these different skills to solve real problems.
So I stop thinking I need to find a job, and I start thinking, what is one small component of a real job I can build or find in my life this month?
That's the entire shift. And then I just have to assemble them into a story. It's not one big scary thing. It's a collection of small, real things. It's proof that I took the initiative. Yes, you build a tangible portfolio of your own curiosity and effort. You don't need anyone's permission to start. You find professional work you admire, and you try to replicate a small piece of it to learn the process. Each attempt is a new component you can add to your story.
It still feels like a lot of work, but it doesn't feel impossible anymore. It feels like something I can control. I'm not just waiting for some company to notice my grades. I'm building my own case. I'm building my own first job, one component at a time.
And that is how real careers begin now. Not with an application, but with an action.
I'm not waiting for a door to open. I'm just building, one small piece at a time.
To all our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey.
If there's a specific career challenge you're thinking about or a future you're trying to figure out, let us know in the comments. We read all of them.